Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing this evening? Okay, we are in the broadcasting studio. Okay, let me go ahead and share it out right quick. You know what? I don't know why. For some reason or another, it's easier to share it from my phone versus from my iPad. I don't know why. I got my phone up here. Y'all can see me reaching, right? Oh, he's here with me. You need him? Okay, let me do my shares out. How's everybody doing? Jacqueline Kabah Harrison here, plus one. You have joined us for Evening Motivation with Jackie.
This is my character.
Y'all hear me doing my share outs, right? Okay. I think I just got one more. I think I got them all. Okay. Okay, so welcome, welcome, welcome. We have Jason Everett Harrison here with us.
I'm not playing boxing, y'all.
Okay. Okay, he wanted to step into the studio for a minute tonight. He's going to be joining, and he's going to be leaving us soon. He's playing a boxing game. So let me go ahead and hit this so we can start on Instagram. Okay, hello. Now we're going live on Instagram as well as Facebook. See, this is Facebook here, and this is Instagram up here on the phone, okay? Just don't bump the table. Okay, say hi so I can see you on Instagram.
Hi.
Instagram, this is Jason Harrison. So I have a guest in my studio tonight. So at any rate, Jacqueline Kabah Harrison here. You have joined us for Evening Motivation with Jackie, which happens every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I stream live on Instagram as well as on Facebook from my business page every Tuesday and Thursday. I always say 10-ish p.m., but it's Tuesday and Thursday evenings. And basically, the purpose of Evening Motivation with Jackie is to come to you and actually just share different tools and techniques that you can begin implementing like right now, right away, in order to help you level up your business, right? This is specifically for coaches and consultants to help you be able to effectively address negative self-talk and all those self-sabotaging behaviors that basically prevent us from showing up, right? Consistently and boldly in the way that we know that we should and the way that we need to in order to continue to level up our business, right? Okay, so that is the purpose of Evening Motivation with Jackie. This evening, I wanted to, and every now and again I do this, but I wanted to basically share my story. So that's going to be the focus for tonight. Then I'll give you ladies a few updates. So let me just say, if you know any other coaches or consultants, this evening's talk tonight is going to be about going outside of your comfort zone. It's going to be about personal development. It's going to be about, growth. So if you know any other coaches or consultants that you know would benefit from this message, please go ahead and share out the broadcast. Okay? Share it out, tag another coach and or consultant. Okay. Okay. Why are you grinning over here?
I'm gonna beat him up. I love him.
Okay. So tag a coach, tag a consultant, Share it out. Definitely let me know if you are a replay viewer. I know it's a little on the late side. I know I'm a night owl, so I know a lot of people are already in the bed right about now. We either got one foot in the bed. So if you catch the replay, let me know in the comments that you're catching the replay and leave.
I'll be back.
Okay, and leave whatever questions and or comments you have in the comments. Okay, now we'll definitely get back to you and follow up. So a couple of announcements. The next A Queens Roundtable show. The next A Queens Roundtable Quarterly Symposium. Hey, close the door, Jay. Is coming up on May the 17th. Okay, so that's the next quarterly symposium. That's coming up on May the 17th. Now, if you are a coach and or consultant and you are at a point where you're not getting the results that you want to get, and you are basically tired of playing it small, you are tired of just kind of spinning your wheels, maybe some things seem to work, then others, kind of seem not to work, and just kind of that pull and tug and that going back and forth, right? This is an opportunity to hear from some experts, and they can give you a fresh set of ideas, talk to you about different tools and different techniques that you can begin using in your business, right? That will allow you to level up your business. Okay. I mean, really, truly start to see the results that you really want to see. Okay. And sometimes it could be something just as simple that we don't even really, I don't know, we just don't even think of it. Something real simple, or maybe sometimes maybe we may have heard this before or heard that particular technique before, but for whatever the reason at that time, we weren't receptive enough to be able to maybe take it in, to understand it, much less to be able to implement it. Okay. So you don't want to miss it. And I'm working really hard to get the link out to you because we're still in the process of finalizing, but I want to be able to get the link out to you. That way you can go ahead and, get scheduled or schedule it, register, and go ahead and get it on the calendar. Okay. So you don't miss it, because sometimes we'd be like, oh yeah, I want to go, I want to do that. I want to do that. And the next thing you know, you don't get it scheduled. You don't get it on your calendar. And next thing you know, you look up and you're like, dang, I missed it. How did I miss that? I know I've done it before. So I'm working really hard to get that link to you so you can go ahead and register. Okay. So I wanted to give an update or an announcement about that. Also, A Queens Roundtable show that's ongoing. That happens every second and fourth Sunday of the month. Next one is March the 22nd. And I'm going to have Torah Sense on. And like I said, it's the fourth Sunday of this month, which is the 22nd. We're going to be streaming live at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so hopefully you can join us, mark your calendars. If you cannot, you can catch the replay. But she's going to be talking about dating and relationships. So that's always an interesting topic, as it and how we relate that with personal growth and, personal development as well as professional development. Okay. So you want to mark your calendars and go ahead and tune in for that. I do have the advertisement out for that. Okay. So that's the other announcement I want to make. Now, to kind of go into the topic tonight, and I'm got to watch my time. I don't want to be too long. So I'm a huge advocate of going outside of your comfort zone. Okay. I talk about that a lot, going outside of your comfort zone. And to me, when you begin to go outside of your comfort zone, that is when you really, truly, that's when truly the work begins. Okay. Because it's easy to be around the same people all the time, to do the same things all the time. Right. But when you really want to make sustainable changes in your life, if you want to get something different, you're going to have to do something different. Right. You're going to have to walk and move in a different way in order to get some different results. Okay. And I don't care what it is. Right. But you can't keep doing the same thing expecting to get different results. So again, I'm a huge advocate for going outside of your comfort zone. So I always like to share this story because this is a big part of why I am who I am today, or as well as why I am where I am today. And in my early to mid 20s, I actually became introduced to West African dance. And it opened up again. So we're talking about outside of your comfort zone. I had always, danced. I had done, modern jazz, tap, gymnastics, so on and so forth. But I had never done any African dance, so this was like what are we talking about? This is like early to mid 90s. So, in here in Michigan, African dance wasn't as popular. So it wasn't as popular. And like I said, I hadn't done any African dance before. So I was in undergrad and I met a young lady and she was into a lot of reggae music, a lot of Caribbean music, and a lot of African music. And at the time, she was like introduced me, like we would go to different concerts, like these different world concerts. And they don't do it as much now as they used to here in Michigan, but I had the opportunity to go with her to some different world concerts. So that was like a whole new world for me. So, having said that, like I said, I was an undergrad and I had to take an elective. And you know how you have to take a certain amount of electives in order to get your undergraduate degree. And maybe sometimes you take literature, sometimes you take, I don't know, I can't even think of anything else right now, but these different classes, and you take them because they're electives. You have to take something in addition to the basics, the social sciences and the sciences and the math courses, right? And English. So I decided to take this dance class, and it was a Afro Haitian class. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Catherine Dunham technique. Oh, and actually, Instagram, I got to go ahead and end on you. So if you want to see the rest of this video, you have to jump over to Facebook and or YouTube. Okay, bye Instagram. All right, so I have to cut that off at a certain time. So at the time, I took this Afro Haitian class, and I was taking it at Wayne State. Like I said, it was an elective, so it was totally, totally different for me. The whole idea, what we wore to dance, was different to me. Dancing barefoot was very different for me. Dancing to live drumming was very different to me, right? Much less actually having an understanding of the music, like actually literally understanding the tempo, understanding what beats I was dancing to, like what, the different nuances of it. So this is like a whole new world for me. And I remember thinking to myself, like in the classes, I was thinking like, wow, like I really feel like I have two left feet because it wasn't something that I was used to. Like I said, dance was familiar to me, very familiar to me, but this style of dance was totally, totally different. So when you talk about stepping outside of your comfort zone, literally, I just remember being like so embarrassed. I would be so embarrassed in a sense of like, am I gonna be able to pick this up? Are people gonna be noticing that I don't know what I'm doing? How crazy do I look? And all of those different emotions were going on in that sense. And also because at the time, typically how they do it is, you're in a studio and you're standing in front of a mirror, one of those big wall mirrors. And I remember thinking to myself, I didn't even really want to look at myself in the mirror. And I definitely didn't want anybody else to look at me in the mirror. So I remember like kind of positioning myself like in the back of the class. And maybe if there was some sort of a pole or column, like I would try to get like behind that column. Or if it was another person in the class that was bigger than me. And I don't, for those of you that don't know, like I'm like 5'1". At the time I was like 5'1". I might have been maybe 100 pounds or maybe 105 pounds, so I was pretty small build at the time. And so it was very easy for me to like get behind somebody and like not be seen. And I remember doing that. And I remember thinking like, I really don't want anybody to look at me. I was so embarrassed, and at the time, or even before I did that, I guess I knew I was going to be embarrassed. I guess I just didn't realize how embarrassed I would be, or how maybe uncomfortable I would be is a better word for it. So, and then, you go into the classes and there's all these other people in the class that have been doing this for like years and have some experience. And that made me feel even more self conscious. So, I'm saying all that to say this may be an extreme version, but when you go outside of your comfort zone, it's like you have to force yourself to push through. Like I was fearful, fearful of the unknown, like how silly I was going to look, if I was going to understand it. Was I going to get the choreography? Were other people going to be looking around and be like, oh, don't dance by me. You don't know what you're doing. You're going to throw me off. All these different sorts of thoughts that were going through my head. But to be able to feel those feelings and still move forward, right? Be able to do it scared, if you will. Do it scared, right? I know you hear a lot of people talk about that, like maybe, presenting in front of a large group of people. And I just throw that out there because that's a very typical one that people experience, or that people become very fearful and very nervous about, public speaking in front of large crowds. But the thing of it is, you have to get into the habit of knowing that, again, you cannot achieve or do anything different if you're not willing to take those risks. If you're not willing to kind of put yourself out there and basically mess up. That's really what that boiled down to. How many times I messed up in those classes? How many times they was going this way and I'm going this way? Or the teacher might have had to come over to me and be like, I really don't know what beat you're dancing to, but that's not the one, you know, and just different things like that. Or even other people in the class not being so nice, like looking at me or giving me funny looks or not wanting to dance with me, because African dance is set up very, very different. For those of you that may or may not know, you know what? I don't know. And y'all, I'm still getting used to StreamYard. So I don't know. I think in order for your comment to show on the screen, I think you have to give StreamYard permission, I guess, or give StreamYard permission to comment. And I don't know how to, I don't think it's something I do on my end. I think it's something that you have to do on your end. Like while I'm live, I think, I think when I'm not live, you can easily make a comment. But I think if I am live and you want to make a comment and you want it to show, I think you have to grant it permission. So yeah, I need to figure out how to, like I said, StreamYard is very new to me. So I'm just again, trying something new. As soon as you get used to one program, another one comes out, and I have been hearing a lot of people talk about this program and that it was, very cost effective, very easy to use, which it is very easy to use, but I'm not quite sure about this particular feature in terms of the commenting and so forth. But the couple of young ladies that joined, I don't know if you're still with me, if you're just kind of passing through, but thank you so much for joining. So there was a lot of times that I was embarrassed in class, but my desire to learn the dance or dances, so not just one dance, or learn the different rhythms, my desire to do that was stronger than my desire of not to be embarrassed, right? Or not to feel uncomfortable. So for me, going to the class, and there's a lot of different dynamics that go on in the class, in terms of, standing, doing the choreography. And for those of you that may not know, when you do African dance, you typically go down a line, like you start at one end of the room or gym or studio, and you go from one end down, you dance down to the other end. And you typically have, I guess what you would call like line partners. It may be 3 of you in a line. It may be 5 of you in a line, just depending on how large the class is. So you are going down the line with a group of people. And the idea is that everyone starts on time, they stop on time, and everyone is, moving in sync, doing the same choreography to the particular rhythm. So that was very different for me. So the whole experience, was very, I don't want to say frightening. What's the other word? Very intimidating. That's a good word. Much less some of the other women that were in the classes were also very intimidating. But what I have to say, I didn't realize it at the time. Looking back on those experiences, I realized that that was really the beginning of me starting to rebuild my self-esteem, rebuild my self-confidence. Now, how my self-confidence and or my self-esteem had, plummeted or was at a low point, that's another story. But that was the beginning. And like I said at the time, it wasn't like I said, oh, I'm going to go do an African dance class. That'll help me build up my self-confidence. No, I wasn't thinking that at the time. At the time, I didn't even really realize it. I didn't even realize the amount of growth that needed to happen in that area. I didn't even really realize how weak I was in those areas, of the self-esteem and the self-confidence at that time. Like I said, this is a lesson learned later, learning about my journey and just kind of being open and being self-reflective and being honest about it and really taking a look at when my journey began and how it began. And it wasn't an overnight process. It wasn't an overnight process, but I could tell you that now, or after a certain period of time went by, and I began to kind of get the hang of it. Now, again, for those of you that don't know about African dance, there's so many different types of African dance. And even within one particular ethnic group, there are a lot of different rhythms, and each rhythm means something different. And there's a whole different set of movements or dances that go with that particular rhythm that are done for particular reasons. Okay. So it's still ongoing, even though I've been dancing for over 25 years, but just because I've been doing it doesn't mean that I know everything. There's still oftentimes that I go into classrooms or into dance classes and I'm like, dang, I never did that. Or what's that? Or this is something different. We're doing, so it's still an ongoing process. However, I am much more confident now in the realm of, I'm just specifically focusing on being in a dance setting, right? Because I have learned that is something that I can accomplish, something that I can achieve if I put my mind to it. And then what happened, and I think this can happen for others as well, like it did for me, that amount of self-confidence that I build up, which is really the belief in myself, the belief in my ability to be able to rise to the top, the belief in my ability to be able to manifest what it is that I want to manifest, right? Like I said, that started in the studio and it was kind of created and mastered and so on and so forth, if you will, in the studio. And then I began to apply it to other areas in my life, right? And in my opinion, that can be applied with anything. I don't care if you're in school, if you are, you get some experience, maybe at a professional setting, like maybe a job that you've been at, I don't know, for 10 years, but now you're working in a new role, a different type of role in your job, right? And that helps you to build up your confidence or your self-confidence. And then you take that confidence, and then maybe if you want to apply for even higher paying job within your same, institution or agency, or if you build up that confidence and now you feel confident enough to go out to other agencies and corporations and so on and so forth, knowing that you are an asset and what you bring to the table, right? Knowing that your skills are transferable. So I think that when you go outside of your comfort zone, that allows you to build up your confidence and your self-confidence, which equates to what you really feel about yourself, how you believe or what you believe as far as your abilities and your capabilities. What you believe as far as your abilities as well as your capabilities, meaning that you feel you are capable of doing X, Y, and Z. Because if you don't feel that you're capable of doing X, Y, and Z, everybody all day long can tell you are. But if you don't fully believe it, it's not going to happen. You're not going to manifest it. So I like to every now and again share that story in reference to how I began to rebuild my self-esteem. And that's where it started for me, in that gymnasium, being taught Afro-Haitian dance. And I can't remember the exact year, but it had to be, I don't know, maybe between 92 and 94. So that's where it all began. So that's just sharing my story. So again, I'm Jacqueline Kabah Harrison. I am a confidence and success coach. I work specifically with African American women that have coaching and or consulting businesses. I help them to create effective strategies in which to address negative self-talk as well as those self-sabotaging behaviors that will cause you to be stagnant, cause you to become immobilized, cause you to lose your motivation, right? Cause you to compare yourself to others, have that whole imposter syndrome going on, second guessing yourself, wondering if this, if that, do I have anything to say? Am I worthy of this? Do I feel like I can charge X amount of dollars for my coaching packages? On and on and on, right? Those are the types of negative beliefs and negative thoughts that come about. And for each of us, it's different. But some, it may be more of this versus more of that, or a mixed bag, whatever the case is, right? But the thing of it is to be able to come up with effective strategies to combat, right, all of that negative self-talk so that it will not prevent you from showing up boldly, consistently, and with intention in your business, thus allowing you to not only increase your productivity, but to increase your profitability as well. All right, so thank you again for joining me for Evening Motivation with Jackie. Again, which happens every Tuesday and Thursday at 10-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, ladies, so I will talk with you all again soon. Thursday, I will come again and bring you more tips and tools. All right, everyone have a wonderful evening, and thank you for those that have joined in as well as those that will catch the replay. All right, good night all.